What? What's wrong?
Our trailers, man. There's monsters afoot.
Oh my god, where? Behind me?
No. On the screen, man. We got a giant shark.
Oh my god, like Jaws?
Sort of, but bigger.
Bigger.
Yeah.
Bigger means better, usually. Yep.
Absolutely. We have a bunch of kids who are committing crime.
Also scary. Just as scary.
Capitalism. Scary.
Different kind of scary. In old men makeup. Very scary.
Ugh.
Yep. And what's the
Give
other
me
one?
Heebie-jeebies. Mary Shelley. I really like her, but like she wrote a story about a monster.
Okay, the Frankenstein monster.
Now, just to clarify, that monster is called Frankenstein?
No. I will correct you every single time.
That was such a leading question. I knew you would get so upset.
Everyone else that ever asks, no. The monster in the book Frankenstein name is the monster, or Frankenstein's monster, or Bob.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
Oh, we'll figure it out.
You can't haul your stuff without a trailer hitch. Trailer hitch.
To the lights, grab a seat, pour yourselves some whiskey neat. It's time to judge the shit out of these future releases by the movie trailers. We're trailer hits. This movie might totally suck, but the whiskey sure is going down fine. Yeah, we're trailer hits.
All right, let's get our wits about us, get our whiskey about us.
We have both those things.
Yes,
Cheers to our wits.
Welcome to Trailer Hitch.
That's our podcast, everyone, where we rate and review movie trailers.
Absolutely.
I kind of stole it. You usually say it, and I was feeling it.
Man,
I was feeling it. So
take the bull by the horns.
Stole it, man. Real monsters, like our theme over the episode. That's what I'm doing. I'm assertive, like a monster.
Well, that's James.
Yes, that's me.
And I'm Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
We are going to go over some movie trailers. Our rating scale is as follows: need to see more, or never need to see. If James and I both give a movie a need-to-see rating, we're going to celebrate for a second because it's always nice to agree on something. And then we're going to see that movie and then come back and report with a segment called Trailer in the Rear View, in which we review the movie and trailer in retrospect.
We just did an episode on Trailer in the Rear View. We reviewed Ready Player One, and we reviewed Annihilation.
Yeah. But before we can even think about talking about movies, we're going to be talking about trailers.
We have trailers today.
Yes.
We already mentioned what the trailers are.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Yeah. We got the Meg. We got American Animals.
And we got Mary Shelley.
Yeah. So, we're going to dive right into it. First and foremost, let's see someone about a shark, shall we?
Steven Spielberg.
No.
What you people discovered is bigger than we ever thought possible.
How big is that thing?
It was the largest shark that ever existed.
A living fossil.
Thought to have been extinct for over 2 million years.
Wrong.
My God. It's a megalodon. He's kidding, right?
All right, guys, we're talking about The Meg, which is, of course, is short for the Magna Carta, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Of course, we got to dive into this. This is important stuff.
They're
we're talking
really
about
playing fast and loose with history here because there's a giant shark. James teases this is about a megalodon.
I kid.
This movie is called The Meg. It is starring Jason Statham, Ruby Rose, Bing Bing Lee, Ryan Wilson. Our random shout out, because we here at Trailer Hitch, we like to give shout-outs to lesser-known cast members because all the top-billed people hog all the credit. So our random shout-out is going to go to Ishmael Okanaga, who plays the Filipino fisherman number 2. Good job, bud.
Ishmael, I'm rooting for you to not get eaten by a giant shark.
I mean, we know he's got lines because he's credited on IMDb. I'm hoping that it turns out he's the guy that saved the day.
We'll be looking out for it.
But what's Ishmael saving the day from? Well, let me tell you what's going on in the Meg. So this opens up on an underwater facility. Now, what is happening at this underwater facility? What are they studying? What is the function of this facility? Ladies and gentlemen, if you are thinking these thoughts, you are already thinking too hard about the Meg. We have this little girl who's running through. She's chasing a toy that she's drawn.
It's like a ball droid, which
Yeah.
I just want to say, Star Wars did it. Sorry, too late.
She runs up, she picks up her little ball. She's happy. She's got her toy back. But then something catches her eye. It's a giant-ass shark. Now,
And by catches her eye, you mean it engulfed in her entire vision.
Her entire field of vision.
Yeah,
that is
that's
absolutely
right.
true. I just want to say, I want to take a time out, mention, I really love this trend in movies where giant monsters are somehow able to sneak up on people. The Megalodon is the size of, like, a small town.
Yeah.
It's not sneaky.
It's mega.
But in the case of the Meg, it happens to get the drop on this 10-year-old.
Now, to be fair, it is a child.
Yeah.
And she had a very shiny plastic ball droid to play with, so I could forgive it.
Sure. The shark attacks and chews on the glass, and she's able to get away. Now they know there's some sort of monster afoot. And they go searching. And finally, first they find a giant squid, and then it just sort of fucks off.
You can't have a giant shark movie without a giant squid. Every director will tell you that.
Steven Spielberg?
Look, not every director will tell you that.
After they find this giant shark, it's
Yes.
like, oh my god, we got a giant shark on our hands.
Who finds him, Kevin?
Jason fucking Statham.
And what is his immediate reaction when he finds the giant shark?
Oh my god. It's a megalodon.
He pronounces every fucking syllable in that word
Yep.
to perfection in that moment. And then it cuts into a very pleasant music cue of
Yes.
Beyond the Sea by Bobby Darin.
Yes. We then have people out on beaches. Everyone's having fun, not even knowing that there's a fucking shark afoot.
They're probably fine.
Probably. And then we get some action shots. We get some people who may or may not be being attacked by a shark. They could just be trying to get out of the water because, I don't know, maybe a really good food truck is at the beach
Or
now.
maybe a normal sized shark is chasing them. Just say, let's not rule it out.
You think this is bad? Just wait till the megalodon gets
they're
here.
still around.
All right, so we have a film wherein which Jason Statham is fighting against a giant shark with the help of a group of researchers.
That is-
who, let's be real, they're all cannon fodder. This is really just Jason Statham versus
That
the shark.
is how this movie is being marketed.
Yep.
Jason Statham versus giant shark.
And right now, my overall thoughts are, I kind of have to go with Jason Statham in that fight. I totally believe.
We've seen him do some
Insane.
pretty outlandish things.
Yeah.
But we are not on land anymore.
We are out of land,
We are
quite
out
literally.
of land, that's right. So it's anyone's game, really.
But I mean, overall, it just looks like the goofiest goddamn thing ever. But it also feels like it knows that it's goofy. It's not trying to impress you. It's not trying to impart some sort of lesson. There isn't like a Godzilla twist in here anywhere.
I mean,
no,
not in the trailer anyway.
not in the trailer, that is true. But as far as the trailer's concerned, it's like, no, fuck you for trying to think. There's a shark, there's Jason Statham. We'll see you there.
Now, how awesome would it be if it did end up being a tie-in movie with Godzilla and Kong Skull Island?
Or what if, like we thought about The Shape of Water, this is a secret tie-in to Universal's Dark Universe. They told us it was canceled. They were just trying to get our guard down.
Just trying to lower everyone's expectations to non-existent because there is no universe anymore.
They're geniuses.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think this one doesn't take itself too seriously, and I think the cue that tells me that is the change in music to Beyond the Sea. It came at the perfect moment of Jason Statham saying the most ridiculous line, and it just goes into this like lighthearted, fun song about how wonderful the sea is, you know, and how there's no harm that could come to you in it. I think it's important to acknowledge that it's not everything is playing for goofs, though. They're not the best effects I've ever seen, but they take the effects seriously, at least. Like, the movement of the shark looks relatively natural for what I imagine a giant shark would move like. I mean, it looked pretty good, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not like a Sharknado type of thing where this is so obviously ridiculous. it doesn't look ridiculous. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no,
there's a long way for me to say it looks pretty good.
And attention
Yeah.
put into the special effects as far as the trailer is concerned.
Yeah.
But
But-
what are the special effects showing you? And it looks like it's just all goofy and fun.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Like, the meat and potatoes of what's happening is, like, goofy.
The meat and potatoes aren't even meat, but it's candy.
Yeah.
This is just candy, on a plate.
Popcorn and candy. Yep,
Absolutely.
Yeah, all the goodies.
Now, overall, I mean, from a filmmaking perspective, I can't even believe I'm talking about the Meg in this context, but overall, it looks like, the suspense that's in it is fairly cheesy. I'm not expecting to be on the edge of my seat the entire time because, again, I have a pretty good feeling about Jason Statham in this. Now, that said, I do kind of wish that the trailer would go the extra mile in how over the top it gets. And I think, namely for us, anytime we see a Fast and Furious movie, they always make it a point to put the dumbest goddamn stunt in the film in the trailer.
Yeah.
And every time it's in there, you go, I can't help but admire the audacity that someone put this to film.
Exactly.
And it's really cool. Right now, this is just purely a setup trailer in big serious quotes.
Yeah.
The fuck do you have to set up? It's a giant shark. So,
You want to see more of the craziness.
of the craziness.
Yeah, okay.
Specifically, I'd really love a shot of Jason Statham punching the shark.
I just want to say thank you, Kevin. You were basically nailing on the head my feelings towards it, too. Not only do I think it was overly a setup trailer, and we don't get much of that, but everyone keeps describing this movie, and you did it yourself, as Jason Statham versus Giant Shark. In the entirety of this trailer, you really don't get a sense of Jason Statham, like, being in proximity to go fisticuffs with this guy, with this giant shark. I haven't seen much of a versus type of relationship between these two characters yet. Because, the Megalodon is definitely a character in itself.
Oh, God, yeah. Absolutely. You didn't, maybe not even show me the punch. You can save that for the film. But just, if I can get an underwater shot of Jason Statham cracking his knuckles.
Or just like, the lead up to the punch. Like Thor and the Hulk for Thor the Ragnarok trailer.
Yeah.
They're just like going at each other slow motion. And you have to zoom in like 10 times just to see
just
Jason
to get the speck of Statham.
Yeah. No, I agree. I kind of wanted more Statham shark.
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe if that isn't what this movie is, first of all, shame on you.
Yeah,
that's what this movie should be.
Should absolutely
and B, if it is, give us some of that stuff. You know,
yeah.
Give us Statham in the water somehow. He always seems pretty dry in the trailer.
That's true. Yeah.
Anyway, what do you think of the trailer?
I mean, yeah, I guess that's my takeaway from all of this.
Right.
Especially the humor from Ryan Wilson just kind of seems like stock comic relief.
Totally.
And again, the comic relief can just come from the premise and playing it stone straight. I mean, goddamn, I am tempted, so tempted to give this a need to see just on merit alone. That said, I do wish this trailer went that extra level of crazy.
Yeah.
And if it did, and I mean, you were saying, even if that's not what the movie is, put that in the trailer. This is one of the few instances where I'm saying, you know what? Yeah, lie to me.
Lie to me.
You
right.
can swindle me right now.
Yeah.
I have Movie Pass. I won't be mad. But yeah, I do wish that there was a little bit more audacity in the trailer itself too, so I'm going to give this a need to see more.
Okay.
Now, granted, if there is one more trailer that is all action and it is all Jason Statham versus Shark, I'm willing to bump this fucking thing up to a need to see.
Yeah. Now, okay, so for me, this was fun to talk about. It's a fun trailer to talk with people about. So, first of all, everyone should see the trailer and discuss amongst yourselves.
Yes.
But people started raving to me about this trailer, like, the second it came out, and I remember seeing it and just being like, really? Like, this is what people are getting that amped about? I wasn't quite on the level of everyone else.
Well, and I think it more so, I think the content of the trailer doesn't really give you that much fun, really.
Well,
aside from just a shark fucking creeping up on a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing that outright made me laugh, aside from that Jason Statham line. And
well, there
I
was a title card that just said
Chomp.
Chomp. Yeah.
Now that said, I do think that this trailer is fucked up to say it, but I think it ignited the imagination of the American people.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my imagination wasn't running rampant, swimming rampant with this one. The trailer towed so closely on the line of just being dumb to me. The thing that pushed it over the line to being me enjoying myself was the music cue. When Jason
It is a
Statham,
really well-timed music
It was
cue.
perfect. And when he said, "My God, it's a megalodon," it could have gone into a complete train wreck after that moment with the wrong music cue. But they let me know instantly, no, this is going to be fun. And then I started having fun with the trailer. So, because of the saving grace of Bobby Darin, this is a need to see more for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm happy about the consensus.
Yeah.
Again, hopefully another trailer will be able to sell us into...
I think this is a perfect need to see more review, because I think and I hope that we're going to get some crazy shit.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
me too. Well, that's it for that animal. Let's talk about different kinds of animals. American animals.
Oh, the worst kind.
This library is home to the most valuable book in the United States.
$12 million. You really need to see how easy this is gonna be.
Oh, you know this from all your previous heists?
Can I just say how dumb this entire thing is?
How do you know no one's gonna get hurt?
I don't want you waking up years from now wondering what could have happened and who you could have been.
Are you sure you're okay?
Oh, say, can you see? American Animals is a movie directed by Burt Layton, also written by him. And just a personal little shout out to me, he was a director for a documentary called The Imposter, which is amazing, and you all should see it.
I've seen part of that.
Oh, it's so good. This is starring Evan Peters, Barry Cogan, Cogan. He's the guy from The Killing of a Sacred Deer. He's super good in that.
Okay.
Blake Jenner, Udo Clear, Ann Dowd. Our random shout out is going to go to Hannah Hoyt, who plays the valedictorian. Hey, Hannah, good job, bud. You're in a movie.
Nerd.
Anyway.
Valedictorian. Nerd.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, no, I just want Hannah to make sure that she knows that she's special for getting into a movie. All right, so what American Animals is, this trailer starts off with a kid going to school, other kids, kind of getting into small trouble, stealing what looks like some food from like a grocery or convenience store.
It looked more specifically like a Hungry Man frozen TV dinner.
Okay, yeah, let's get specific with it then. And then the bell rings again, and we just get this repeated mantra of all of these things happening. Mm-hmm. Though, yeah, sure, there's some trouble here and there. Everything looks fairly mundane. And over this, some voiceover comes in asking, don't you want something special to happen? Don't you want something special to happen to us? Are you in or are you out? And then we finally get these two teenage boys at a table, and one of them says, I can't say if I'm in or out without knowing what it is. That's what leads us into what it is, which is a heist. There is a book at their, I believe, local library.
There's a library, yeah.
The rarest book in the country, and it's worth, 15 mil?
I don't remember the number. It's the most valuable book in, I thought they said the world.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So, millions of dollars are in this book. And now these guys are deciding we are going to do a heist and we're going to steal it. Mm-hmm. And we get various shots of them planning said heist. They don old age makeup on themselves. And then also to remind ourselves how ill-equipped they might be for a big job like this. The boys get into a minivan and hit the button to close the door, and they just have to wait as that fucking automatic door slowly slides its way to close.
Yeah.
We have various, shots of them partying and the excess that comes with the idea of being hardened criminals. And that's what we have to go off of right now. And so, first and foremost, I'll say I really dug the style of this trailer.
Yeah.
I thought that visually it was handled incredibly well. I loved, it's like a very tasteful use of shadows in their shots. But at the same time, there is some really cool stylization. Someone picks up a glass and the camera is on the POV of the glass, but from the side. And so the camera tilts and lifts up as the alcohol is being consumed. I thought that was pretty fun and neat. And I think a lot of the stylization comes in at the right moments, at like these moments of excess. And then when there are these really sobering moments of, oh God, these are just kids, or oh God, what are they doing?
Right.
Then it makes it a point to kind of pull back and just keep that camera still, just so you can see the awkwardness unfold on screen. And in terms of the story itself, I mean, right now, none of the boys are really super fleshed out. We get that kid who's stealing the Hungry Man pizzas, and then after being caught is told...
Just a TV dinner. It's not a pizza. It's just TV dinner.
God, for fuck's sake.
I'm just saying I ate these things, so I knew what I'm talking about.
He is told that he's a huge disappointment to his father, so like we do have some semblance of... There might be some personal stakes in this, maybe not necessarily directly related to the heist, but what is the headspace that these kids are in when they think that planning a heist is a good idea?
Right, correct, yeah.
And so this is more so just setting up what this movie is about and its style, and both of those things I found really bewitching. I will also note James and I have harped on many movies, specifically foreign movies, for their over-reliance on quotes in trailers. And I think American Animals is a great example of how to do quotes in trailers effectively. You just cut that shit to the music, at most 3 words per quote, but most of the times it's one word.
It was literally like one quote on the screen, but there were like 5 screens that it cycled through in the course of like a second. So it was just like knocked 5 quotes out in that amount of time. You can't read them all. That's not the point. The point is the style of the trailer.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're going to throw all these quotes up here. Good. We did it. We got that out of the way. Let's get back to the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you think?
The style was just very, very cool. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's just like a very cool trailer. The story itself is pretty bare bone, but that's okay for a heist film, I think. You know, most heist films are... I mean, Baby Driver was a heist film, and that, you know, it was all style.
Yeah.
And it got us both in the theater instantly, you know? I think that's pretty common for heist films, and I think it's effective for heist films. They do it that way for a reason. It's because you can cut an awesomely stylized trailer to it. And this one is no exception, and we're focusing on all probably college students. I think it's like a college, right?
It's either high school or college.
High school or college. It's they're definitely like 17 to 19
I mean, valedictorian makes me think high school.
Sure, yeah.
Shout outs to Hannah.
Shout out. Hannah, you get 2 shout outs. Yeah. So I thought the title cards were fantastic, like you said. Not just the quote stuff, but the title card of, you know, this isn't based on a true story type of title cards. You know what I mean? And it almost felt like the title card was cutting the scene short and doing a hard cut to it with this weird, like, music of like a choir going boom, boom, boom with it, which also kind of like just brings you to an abrupt stop to look at this title card. And then we go back into the scene. It was very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like, the music choices were pretty maximalist. The style behind the trailer was.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, like, that's what the movie's going for. It's supposed to make you rear back and go, oh, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I really like it. I really dug the style. Like you said, it's filled with stuff that, like, I didn't even catch. Like, you were talking about the point of view camera angle from the glass of alcohol being drank. I don't even remember that in the trailer, and I've seen it multiple times. That's how jam-packed this trailer is with style.
Yeah.
But it wasn't over the top either, I feel. I feel like it flowed really well. So I really loved the trailer a lot.
Yeah, well, I would say I'm howling for American Animal, so I'm going to give it a need to see.
2 need to see it for me too as well.
Double need to see.
And clinks, clink, clink, clink. Thank you. All right, yeah,
All right.
that was an animalistic type of review.
Yep,
I think we devoured it quite decently.
We went primal for that, I would say. Let's see. I believe this movie comes out right at the top of June. So once June hits, once the movie hits, we will see this movie. We will come back, review the movie, review the trailer in retrospect, let y'all know whether or not the trailer sells us effectively and whether you should see the movie too. But before then, we got Mary Shelley.
We got more movie reviews, trailers to review.
We have more trailers to review. That's absolutely right, James.
Right.
And we got Mary Shelley on her hands right now.
Yes.
And let's see what she's got on her hands.
Who amongst you has ever wondered if the dead could return to life?
Is that really possible? Reanimation.
We've been invited to Geneva by Lord Byron.
Would you like to join me in the parlour, Miss Goldwyn?
I have no quarrel with you becoming lovers.
Do you wish to be with someone else? I no longer see the world and its works as they before appeared to me, and men appear to me as monsters.
We are each to write a ghost story. It's a competition. The woman is not intelligent enough to form ideas of her own.
What's wrong with you?
You, Miss Goldwyn, have the chance to prove me wrong.
Don't you recognize Victor Frankenstein?
Oh, it was Frankenstein. Frankenstein was in Mary Shelley's
the
hands.
book.
Yeah,
Frankenstein.
yeah, she wrote it.
With her hands on paper.
Yeah.
So that was in her hands. I see what you did there.
Yeah, it all ended up.
We're on the same mindset here.
I'm going to be honest, just threw that to the wind. Really happy that this Mary Shelley trailer knocked it out of the park for me. All right, so this is Mary Shelley, directed by, oh God, I'm so sorry, Haifa El-Mansour. I'm so sorry, I enjoyed your other film, Wajda. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Written by Emma Jensen. This is starring Elle Fanning, Maisie Williams, Douglas Booth, Belle Powley. And our random shout out is going to go to Gilbert Johnston, who plays Usher. Hey, Gilbert. I'm excited to see you play the R&B artist Usher. All right, so...
Good job, Gil.
Yeah, way to do it, Gil. All right, cool. So, this is Mary Shelley. This story appears to be about a young Mary Shelley meeting Percy for the first time. And excuse me, her maiden name is Mary Wollstonecraft.
Yep.
And she ends up meeting Percy Shelley, falling head over heels for him. And then this duo end up going to a villa in the middle of Switzerland. And
Like Geneva.
Yep. And there they meet Lord Byron and a couple other crazy characters. And that is where the impetus to write Frankenstein came from. It was born of a competition.
That's right.
And then we have a pretty grandiose string score soundtracking Mary Shelley as she makes her declarative statements in writing Frankenstein.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of declarative statements in this trailer.
Yes,
yeah.
And I think I'm going to get into it right now. So, I mean, Mary Shelley is very near and dear to James and I's collective hearts.
That is very true. It's one of my favorite historical stories.
Yeah, mine too.
Ever. It's amazing.
So if you actually go back to episode 2 of this podcast.
Of this podcast?
Way
Kevin?
back. Yeah, we're on 41 now.
Ooh,
whoa, where'd the time go?
Don't be aging ourselves here.
If you go back to episode 2, at the end of the episode, we talk about this particular film.
Mm-hmm.
And we went into, our thoughts and feelings about a Mary Shelley movie.
Because it was just like...
a nascent idea.
Yeah, we just heard, maybe there's a Mary Shelley movie in the works.
Right.
And so that's why we talked about it. Yeah.
This is something that's really near and dear to our hearts. I think we both view Mary Shelley as a hero.
Gosh, she's the best.
So seeing this, if we're talking about those grandiose statements from Mary, there is a lot of feminist rhetoric throughout the trailer.
Sure. And it's weird because the word rhetoric just already sounds like a negative connotation.
Correct, but I'm not applying it as such in this case. It's a lot of people doubting her and her abilities due to her sex and gender, and a lot of her having to stand up and going, motherfucker.
Right, yeah.
Now, that said, aside from the one act of writing Frankenstein, which we see in this trailer, that's really the only thing we see her do. Otherwise, it is more so just those big statements.
It's a lot
with
of
capital
her,
S's.
Yes, it's a lot of her telling other people, how dare you?
Basically,
and wagging her finger at them.
Yeah, which...
in their statements we can all agree with.
Of course.
The core beliefs of them all. But just to hear them spoken out loud in a movie isn't necessarily cinematic or entertaining.
Yeah, or dramatic, even.
Or even dramatic, right?
I definitely think the movie right now is lobbing straw men at Mary to hack down, too.
Yeah,
we have characters flat out saying, you can't possibly write this, you have a vagina!
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I'm,
like, Lord Byron in the trailer literally says, like, women don't even have original thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, that is something he says, which is, like, even back then... no, like, no one actually believes that. That's, like,
well, and I mean,
original...
especially...
everyone has original thoughts.
Well, and I mean, there is some really rampant misogyny in the day, but, like, especially coming from someone as well-read as Byron and someone who was as big a public figure as Byron, and especially someone who liked to fuck around as much as Byron, for him to say that and then immediately try and get into her pants in another scene, it's like... you seem to be giving me two different big bad guys for Mary Shelley to stick it to.
Exactly.
And bear in mind, I firmly believe in, yes, we should see Mary Shelley sticking it to all forms of these, like, toxic masculine dudes.
And not only men. Like, the beginning of the trailer has her sticking it to her stepmother.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
It's not... it's just... it's basically just Mary, like I said, saying... how dare you, to, like, literally every person she comes in contact with. And, like, I'm in the right, and history will be on my side.
And it just sort of, like, undercuts itself, because we know history's going to be on your side.
Yeah,
Virtually everyone had to read this goddamn book in high school. Everyone knows who Mary Shelley is.
Yeah.
But at the same time...
but not everyone knows the story.
True, absolutely. And I think it is a really good story to tell. That said... I think there really isn't that much focus right now, because we spend the first half of the trailer of just her falling head over heels for a man, and then it's also a lot of her going, but fuck you, I don't need a man.
Exactly,
and
right,
so,
yeah,
I mean, like, it's sort of this weird, what specifically are we getting across with this Mary Shelley trailer right now? And, like, I'm kind of getting conflicting things, and I wish there was a bit more clarity with everything. And I specifically would like maybe 80% less of Mary Shelley just flat out saying these platitudes, but rather acting on them.
Yeah.
And her writing Frankenstein is her acting on it. Her making the decision to be with Percy Shelley when everyone is like, oh, don't do that. That is an act.
Making the decision to publish, too.
Yes.
Like, and obviously they kind of hint at that, but again, they make it more about her speech to the person who doesn't believe she actually wrote it.
Right.
Instead of the act of going out and getting this thing published.
Right. Overall, I am kind of crestfallen by this trailer. I mean, I would have loved if this thing was... awesome, you know, because that's really what we were talking about with that second.
It's just flat.
Yeah.
I just think that's just the best adjective I have come up with for this trailer. I just was so excited. The second it said the Mary Shelley trailer is dropped, I just dropped everything and decided to watch it. And it just was flat. You know, I like Ella Fanning as Mary Shelley. Mm-hmm. I think that's a pretty decent casting choice. Mm-hmm. I like how young they went with, like, Percy and Byron.
Yeah.
Like, I really appreciated that. The production design looks very nice. The costuming looks very nice.
They definitely lean into the Gothic influences throughout. And it's, sort of neat to look at.
Like you said, though, it just falls flat.
Yeah.
It's just so meh about it, and it's just so disappointing for just one of my favorite like historical stories of all time.
Yeah.
So, it's so difficult for me to say it, but it's like, this is like, if I'm going off of this shit that we always do for all these episodes, I gotta stick to it. This is like a never need to see it for me.
Aww.
It's so blah, man. It's just so blah for me. It almost gets I almost want to give it a pass to need to see more just because of my own personal connection to the story.
Sure.
But I am trying to be true to
what
the review process here.
Which is, we're going off of the trailer. The trailer alone.
And this is a trailer that I watched and literally told no one to go watch it. Other than you, obviously, because, we
have a podcast. We have things to talk about.
Not just because of the podcast angle, but because we both love this story so much. Obviously, I knew you would want to see this trailer instantly. But other than you, I would not really even recommend the trailer to anyone. It's just so blah. And that's
you fucking threw it to the wolves, as in me.
That's almost more of a crime than a trailer, being absolutely ridiculous and looking silly and bad.
Yeah.
At least there's entertainment value there sometimes. This just doesn't look like an entertaining thing.
Yeah.
There you go.
And
what do you think, Kevin?
I want to give this more credit.
I wanted to, too.
Yeah, I know. I think that the performances in there seem like they're all solid.
Yeah.
Maybe I have sort of an aversion to the dialogue that's being said.
Sure.
But I think, the weight is added on the right words. Oh, boy. I think that some of the visual stuff, like some of the images of the science experiment that they go and see, do look neat and look very of the time, but still keeping that gothic aesthetic.
Sparklers add a lot of excitement.
Yeah.
Look.
God, you've really talked me into never need to see.
No. I mean, look, the one thing, I think if you were talking about that kind of thing, the one thing I did really like was the hand. Like, the hand of what I suppose is...
the monster,
The monsters, like her...
And I'm sorry, is that
imagining
Frankenstein,
monster.
James?
No, that would be Frankenstein's monster.
Sorry, go on.
Showing ownership, apostrophe S.
Yes.
I mean, like, that... Again, it's just a hand.
Mm-hmm.
But it looked good.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say so.
Anyway, what do you give it?
Yeah, no, I'm at a never need to see too. The more I think about it, I walked in thinking
I just want to.
Badly. We should be able to exhume enough out of this to give this a need to see more. But yeah,
I'm
no,
really
the more you
struggling,
think about it,
yeah, and I really want to. I really want to, people, but I just couldn't bring myself to it. So
we're crestfallen.
Yeah. Not to say we won't watch another trailer, and maybe it'll turn the tide. We'll see.
If there's a lot of Mary just being like, you know what, fuck you, and then just punching people, kind of like with the Meg trailer. We just need more people getting punched in trailers. Just overall.
Yes.
Whether that be intentionally goofy shark films or Mary Shelley biopics. Sure, have a punch in there too. Why not? I mean, it's a shame, but again, another trailer.
It happens.
Yeah, and who knows? I mean, maybe the movie itself will be good.
You know what? And okay, sure, but maybe it won't, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
That just means a better Mary Shelley movie will come along eventually.
Hopefully,
and we can get excited for that one.
Sure.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. What do you say to doing some trailer tune-ups? Is that something you're interested in?
Yeah, I got some time. I can go into the shop. Let's get in here. Let's get underneath the hood of a couple of these trailers that should have been running just fine after they came out of our garage here, but looks like they have some more things about them.
More things.
Yeah.
Maybe two more things. Maybe 8 more things.
I really should learn more mechanical terms for this podcast.
No, see, that's
been 41 episodes. You'd think I'd crack open a book by now.
No, see, that left it open for me to do segues.
Yeah, that's true.
And now
8
we got
things. Yeah, that was very good.
Thank you very much. So we got Incredibles 2
yes.
and Ocean's 8 that we're gonna do little tune-ups for here.
All right. So what do you want to do first now? Let's just go numerically. Let's do Incredibles 2.
Numerically? Let's do it.
All right, so going numerically, we got Incredibles 2 right out the gate first. And the first time we talked about it, it was, I think, one of, like, those little preview, like, those really early first look things where...
I don't even know if we gave it, like, a full review.
I don't think we did either. Yeah. I think this was something that came into our garage, and we went, it's fine. And then we went into other things.
Sure. We talked about how good the teaser for the first Incredibles was.
We did. We did. We completely dismissed Incredibles 2. We laughed. We chided. We mocked. And then it went out, and then it, like, started working out and got really good at a sport and now has a bunch of friends and now is, like, coming back to the party and is like, hey, it's been a bit since we talked. How are you? And it's like, it changed for the better.
It has us second-guessing our life decisions, doesn't it, Kevin?
Yeah, it really is. Really is. Should have taken up croquet. Yeah.
We just need to be a bit more flexible.
I get what you're doing there.
I did an Elastigirl quote.
Sorry. It was good. I didn't explode with laughter, but I did enjoy the joke.
Very good.
But yeah, no, so now we actually got, like, the plot. We're not going to, like, go super in-depth with these just because these are tune-ups.
Yep.
But so far, I'm fucking digging this so much.
Yeah.
I really enjoy what they're doing with the story for this. Every time Pixar announces that they're going to be doing a sequel, I always go, shit.
Yes, it's a nerve-wracking feeling.
Yes.
Yeah.
And bear in mind, most of the time, they work out really well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not a doomed feeling. It's just be careful.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah. The Pixar fell on its face with Cars 2. It's happened once.
Yes.
And so I think there's just some trepidation anytime you see the number 2. That said, I no longer have that trepidation with this movie.
Yeah.
I really love what they're doing with the story. All of the humor is really landing for me. We get some really great character stuff out of this, like, 2-minute trailer, which is something that I'm always really impressed when the trailer can pull it off. And it just looks like everything that I loved about the first Incredibles movie, but it's now expanding upon it and widening its scope while also zeroing in on the family and going through those issues too.
Not to mention a cool new costume design by Ed Not Mold for Elastigirl.
Yep. Generally, those are my thoughts. How about you, man?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to see this family back in action, man. Like, really back in action. Like you said, that teaser was it was just a teaser. That's why we didn't, like, judge it too harshly. But this was a lot of fun. I think it's a great idea to focus on Elastigirl. You know, how her family dynamic works when she goes off to do her thing. I do get a little bit worried that it might be a little too similar to the character arc of the first one of Mr. Incredible learning, oh, I need to go do my thing on my own. Oh, just kidding. I needed to learn that my family is a part of me and we all need to work together. I'm kind of seeing maybe this might have the similar type of arc to it.
Maybe with the mom, but I think with the dad right now, I've made my decision. I'm happy to be with the family. Oh, wait, you want her? And then
I meant
the repercussions of now you have to deal with your kids who, by the way, on top of growing up and are going through their own emotional shit.
Yeah.
They also have superpowers.
As his son said, is she having adolescence?
Yeah.
Of course. But yeah, other than that, it was a ton of fun. It's great to see all these characters again. Bob Odenkirk looks like a fun addition as, like, sleazy guy number 1.
As he is so apt to play.
Yeah. I liked it a lot, and I'll be there for that
fucking
movie.
Need to see.
Yeah, need to see it for me as well. Double need to see.
All right, very cool. So yeah, no, we will end up seeing that one, but now let's get
that 8 ball in the corner pocket here.
Yes,
Ocean's
absolutely.
8.
Absolutely. Let's multiply this by 4. Let's get up to Ocean's 8. What do you think of that?
You're doing math. You're doing math. Why change math? Math is math.
Sorry.
Math is math.
Your imagery was better. All right, so Ocean's 8. So for this trailer, we gave the first trailer a need to see more across the board. I know a lot of our criticism was like, it doesn't look like it's really doing anything that different from Ocean's 11. I am kind of loosening myself from that because it's like, it's the Ocean's franchise. Like, this is sort of like their brand and what I should expect. I do wish that they would expand on it, but ultimately, if this is your thing, it's your thing. And now we just have, it's 8 women instead of 11 dudes. So for this trailer, I went in like with an open mind to be like, don't look for what's different. Just look at what's there and see if you enjoy that. Right now, I really enjoy Sandra Bullock and Rihanna. And like, it's kind of interesting. When you were talking about the American Animals trailer, you had said, a heist trailer should be fairly stripped back. And that first Ocean's 8 trailer is just a character hodgepodge through and through.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it's like, by the way, we're stealing diamonds.
And by the way, there's going to be a con within a con.
Yeah.
Yeah, that also bothered me. Anyway.
The second trailer is, I think, more in line with what you were talking about for American Animals.
Yeah.
Super stripped back. Yeah. It's just... this is what we're doing. This is the crime. And now here's us figuring out these really suave, but also batshit ways in order to get this this crime done.
Yeah.
So that aspect of it, I think, works better. I did not gel with the music choice in this. And maybe I am holding on to These Boots Are Made for Walking.
It was the perfect song choice.
Fucking perfect.
Yeah, why change it?
In the second trailer... I don't even recognize the song or the artist, but
was it like "What I'm in"? No. What is it? Yep, that sounds it. That's perfect. Yeah,
that thing.
We're gonna have to pay for the copyright for that, Kevin. That was perfect.
We're going to be sued by someone, and we just have to hope that it's the person who we actually owe money to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like the song choice doesn't really gel for me, especially with how bombastic and how fucking cool that first song choice was for the first trailer.
Yeah.
Though I may not have agreed with like what they were putting in it, I thought that like, fuck, that's the one thing that you shouldn't change. Like that's what was getting me kind of hooked. But the reveal with Sandra Bullock's character, how long have you been planning this heist? Cut to her in prison, 5 years, 8 months, 12 days, like all of that stuff. I was really geeking out.
I like that a lot. Yeah.
Overall, I'm not really feeling that change by this, but how about you?
No. I agree with you. I think it stripped it back for the better, but there still was a lack of energy, I think. It just is very...
yeah.
I don't know.
I think the first one is manically edited, sometimes to a fault. Mm-hmm. And this one is far more restrained in its style.
Yeah.
But for Oceans, you want the frames within frames and multiple...
the zooms.
Yeah.
You got the zooms, man.
Yeah, you want that really fun 70s, everyone's looking dope as shit, doing dope shit vibes. And the editing with this trailer doesn't get that across as much as I'd hope it would.
Right, yeah. And you know what? I think another part of it is there's just a real lack of... So like in the first Ocean's movie, Terry Benedict was the Andy Garcia, right? Character.
Yeah.
He was, and like maybe you didn't know he was like a bad guy when you first saw the trailer or something, but it's clear this is the Mark.
Mm.
We don't like the Mark. I don't really get that vibe with anyone yet. Like, I guess Anne Hathaway is supposed to be
the Mark, yeah.
But she doesn't really look... she's not coming across in the trailer like someone that is deserving of being a Mark.
And I think that's something the first trailer did well.
Well, she seemed very materialistic.
Materialistic.
And like, 53 million, actually.
Pretentious.
Yeah. And this one, she just kind of seems airheaded and...
just seems like someone who has a really nice piece of jewelry.
Yeah,
Are you fucking up her day?
Just doesn't really seem like someone who's worthy of this movie being directed at stealing stuff from her.
Right.
Whereas like Terry Benedict in Ocean's 11, they built up the reason like why this is the guy. And maybe in the trailer you just saw him, but even his look just told you everything you need to know about him. This guy needs someone to show him his place, put him in place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm still at a need to see more for this. It's just
same.
like, it's very meandering. So there you go.
Well, all right, man. That should about cover it.
That covers all the trailers that we're talking about today, everyone.
We did it!
We have one more thing to cover, though, Kevin.
Ooh,
There's
what's
one
up?
more thing. So, a couple friends of mine do a podcast of their own.
Did you podcast cheat on me?
You know what? I wasn't going to tell you, but, you know...
It's okay. This is an open relationship.
It's all about honesty here, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, all I was going to say is they have a a podcast called Ghosting Around, and it's a haunted ghost story podcast.
That sounds fun.
And I'm just going to do a little pitch for their episode coming up right now, if you will, Kevin, if you will allow.
Okay, yes, I'm a prospective listener.
Woo me. So, broadcasting from Ghost to Ghost, from Los Angeles, California to wherever you're listening to the podcast, check out Ghosting Around with your ghost hosts Kathleen DeRose and John Kaysen, where they talk about haunted places across America. Basically, it's a podcast ghost tour. On their next episode, they'll be brewing up some ghost stories that'll cheese-curdle your blood as they spooky-talkie in the city of Milwaukee.
You rhymed it!
I didn't write any of that, Kevin, but I wish I had. Anyways, yours truly has a special cameo on that upcoming Milwaukee episode, but don't let that scare you away from listening. See, it was self-deprecating humor. Yeah, it was good. But it was scary.
Let people know you're humble.
Yeah. Anywho, for allowing me to be on their show and promoting Trailer Hitch, I thought I'd do them the honors of promoting Ghosting Around on our show. So there you go.
Well, very cool.
Their upcoming episode coming up is a Milwaukee-themed episode. I'm from Milwaukee, so John and Kathleen were like, James, you gotta tell us something. And I'm like, all right, calm down, guys. I'll be there when I can. Got my own podcast to run. Just kidding.
I'm glad I'm your man.
I jumped at the chance to do it. Anyway, that's all I got. I just wanted to shout them out. Yeah, give them a good old shouts outs. You know what I'm saying?
I'd say I'm pretty wooed right now. I think I'll give this
You might
a
listen to it.
Yeah,
you might listen to it, despite the fact that I might be involved in one of the episodes.
I feel like I can gloss over that. Yeah, okay, I can look over it. It's okay. Well, speaking of podcasts, yes, you should totally check out Ghostin' Around.
Mm-hmm.
And while you are going on iTunes to subscribe to that, be sure that you have liked and subscribed to our podcast as well.
Also on iTunes.
Yes, also on iTunes. Feel free to give us a 5-star rating, or a 4, or a 3, or a 2, or a 1. Whatever you think we deserve.
Yeah.
Feel free to email us at trailerhitchmailbox@gmail.com. Any thoughts, any requests, any, pieces of music, whether they be yours or someone else's. If you just found a song you like and want us to hear it, we'll listen to it.
Yeah, I'll listen to it.
Otherwise, you can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter @TrailerHitchPod. And by the way, you should go on to Facebook. We put up the Twitter poll, but we neglected to, tell anyone we put up the Twitter poll aside from the episode. So that's kind of our fuck up. So what we are doing is we are posting another poll on Facebook for Which Never Need to See movie that James and I and our bad movie correspondent Jenny will be watching to make up for the fact that we haven't been doing too many of those Hitchhiker segments.
So Facebook or Twitter, go vote for it. Guys, it'll be fun. It'll be funny. It's going to be a bad movie that you're making us watch, and then we have to tell you about it.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list. I'm looking at the list now, and you'll all want to see this too.
Have fun with it, guys. Vote on it. Yeah.
Otherwise, I think that about covers it. We want to say thank you to Danny Schmitz from Lost in a Name.
The best.
We want to say thank you to Casey Clowers for the bitchin' outro that you will be hearing shortly.
Fantastic.
And you may have noticed while you were on iTunes that we have some new art. And that came from Rachel. Thank you. Shout outs to her. You can find more of her stuff at Mighty Creations on Instagram.
I cannot tell you enough how much I love this artwork.
Yeah, me too.
I'm so happy. So thank you, Rachel, so much.
She captured me, I feel. Yeah, that's what I look like.
The look of shock on your face is just like what I stare at every single episode.
Just far off, kind of vaguely trying to figure out a point. Kind of like what I'm doing now.
Kind of like right now.
Yeah.
Wrap it up, Kevin.
I really wish I had more to say, but nah, I'm pretty much good to go. How about you, bud?
Oh, I've been ready.
Okay, cool. Let's just stop us.
You can't mount holy sails without a sailor stitch, and you can't haul your stuff without a trailer hitch. Trailer hitch.
Is it safe?
Yeah, okay, we're good now.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So,
did the mic pick me up? I've been under the table.
Look,
the
there's
time.
100% chance that the mic didn't pick you up. So we're
What?
going to have to record this entire podcast
All
again.
of it?
All of it. But at least you were safe from the non-existent monsters that we were talking about.
But the
here.
trailers, there were spooky stuff.
They were spooky stuff in it, but there's just movie trailers, man. There's nothing to be afraid of. I don't know what to tell you.
Really?
Also, this is a see-through table, so the monsters would have seen you anyway. So I could have
cover, you know?
told you that at the beginning.
Shit.